Hello and welcome to NWRumClub. This is Rum Wrangling Vlogs, and today we're going to have a look at the virtual tasting experience. Now these have become very popular over the last 12 months for obvious reasons, and I haven't actually been on one. So I thought I'd do some research, see what was out there and pick one to go on my journey. Now what I'll be doing today is really looking at why I selected the ones I have, what's on offer, receiving, what did I get, what do I feel about that. I'll also be looking into the session later and my thoughts on the experience afterwards. So how do you select a session? Yeah, there's so many virtual tasting sessions out there. What you have is some people are providing packs from a country, so this could be Guadeloupe and all the distilleries in there. You've got others such as rum clubs, and I know the UK Rum Club have partnered up with SBS to provide a tasting selection as well as a virtual session in the evening going through them. You've also got independent bottlers. Now they provide a selection of multiple different countries, multiple different styles. The ones I've seen some great ones from Boutique, and I'm also signed up to a session in a month's time at Hero and Heroics to look at a combined whiskey and rum session done by Vin. So what did I actually go for? I picked a distillery, and the distillery I picked is HAMPDEN's in Jamaica. Now why did I pick HAMPDEN's? Well, recently I purchased a couple of memorable bottles. We have a single cask Trelawney Bird series, and we have a HAMPDEN's Great House. Now both of these are not cheap. They range £95 to £200. I was very fortunate to get them, and it's something that I really want to remember. So if any of you have seen the 5-bottle challenge, the last one is a memorable bottle. In my video it was the St Nicholas Abbey 15, and as you can see it's running short. So this is something that I'm looking for as my next memorable bottle. The problem is I've bought it now. It looks good and I really want to know what it tastes like. So to do that you can get sampling kits, you can get independent small bottles, but in this case I wanted to have a look at the range that HAMPDEN offer. As well as that, what they offered was a tasting session with Luca from Velier, who is in partnership with HAMPDEN bringing these bottles to the market. So I thought, why not? The Whisky Exchange is where I found this pack. It popped up on my ads on Hotmail, and on that basis I thought for under £50, it's still quite a lot of money, but for an experience of a number of tasting sessions, tasting samples, plus a session with Luca in the evening, I thought I'd give it a go. So let's have a look at what I actually bought. I didn't buy those in the session, I bought those previously. So what I bought was this, and it looks amazing. It looks like a real gift, a presentation pack, and felt quite special. I was quite surprised. Within the pack, it's presented lovely, and you do get 5 3-centilitre samples and a perfect measure tasting glass. This was my first purchase. I also ended up buying a number of glasses. Now the reason for this, I thought if I'm going to be sampling 5 rums in one single night, then I didn't want to be using all my various different shapes and sizes of glasses. So although I do get 1 glass in the pack, I thought it's about time that I buy a pack of 6 and that I can treat it properly so that when I am tasting, I can have 5 open at the same time in the same thing, with the ability to smell, taste different ones and go from there. So that's the reason why I got that. I also did actually buy a couple of other mini samples just because I got excited. I bought a Bimba white rum because I'm just a bit interested in UK distilleries at the minute. And I also bought a 9 Leaves Angel's Half. Again, a very young rum from Japan, but something that I'm quite interested in, so I'm not quite sure what that's going to hold. I'll let you know on a different session. We got 5 3-centilitre bottles, and in those there's the Cask 488 Trelawney Birds, there's the Great House, there's the 8-year-old, and there's also the Overproof, and the final one is this one, HAMPDEN Estate 2011 CFCH 7 years old. So that's what we will be trying on the session. Now, the bottles themselves are really quite nice. They're 3 centilitres, which I'm really quite pleased with, because if you're going to be drinking 5, that's more than enough. Normally on a sampling bottle, I quite like 5 centilitres. It's just a bit more in your glass, as well as the fact that if there are 2 of you, there is enough to share. They are made of glass. That's a nice touch. I'm not really too bothered about plastic. If it's a tasting one, as long as it's recyclable and it's PET or recyclable PET. For example, I had one here. That was a McMahon Calvados cask. It's plastic, no issues. If I was to get a Hampton's Great House in a 70 centilitre plastic bottle, I don't think I would have bought it. So that is what I bought for my tasting session. The tasting session is tonight, 6:30, reasonable time in GMT. I'll be doing a nice setup, getting it set up on the TV, and I'm looking forward to a night with Luca and HAMPDEN Estate, trying 5 of what looks like exceptional rums. Hi, as you can see, I'm currently in the virtual tasting session. Unfortunately, Luca from Velier wasn't able to attend. A great story. He is somewhere in Haiti, in the mountains, probably without internet and probably having a great time. But we've got representatives from the distillery, from the Whisky Exchange and from Velier walking us through the 5 different rums. And what's really nice is the fact that, yes, we're doing the tasting, the profiles, but a lot of this really is about the history, the detail, the marks, the processes, how it's different to other rums, how it compares to other rums of Jamaica. You know, what I take away straight away, and something that I'm really pleased about, is that by having 5 lined up together, you can really try one and then compare it against another one, especially with the noses. There's such different flavours coming off of each one. So a bit of experimentation. So far, the nose on the Cask 488 on this one has been absolutely fantastic. I really like the taste of it as well. The only one I haven't tasted yet is the Great House. That one will be coming up next. But I feel it's time for me to go back to the virtual tasting session and enjoy the rest of this experience. I thought I'd just give you a small window of what's going on live in the middle of a virtual tasting session to give you an idea of what we're doing. This is actually a really nice thing to be doing. I look forward to seeing what the rest holds. Hi, it's the next day after the virtual tasting experience, and I'm pleased to say I'm not too hungover. What did we do last night? So we had a one and a half hour tasting session, which was also streamed live on Facebook for everyone to watch. But because we purchased the Hampton's gift set from the Whisky Exchange, you do get a little bit more. So prior to it streaming live on Facebook, we did have a bit of Q&A, maybe 10-15 minutes. But what really became interesting is what happened afterwards. So when the streaming was done and everyone in Facebook stopped watching, we had a community of people for about an hour and a half just talking everything that's rum. Some geeky stuff, what's going on in the industry, where rum's projections are going, and this was the bit that made it quite special and made it quite unique as an experience rather than just watching it on a Facebook streaming page. To give you some examples, you know, the types of people that we were talking to, we obviously had Dawn from the Whisky Exchange, we had Dani from Velier, we had brand ambassadors, bloggers, we had a distiller from Scotland, we had blenders from England. You know, and when you start to get that mix of people talking around what's interesting to them, how the industry is moving, you know, the differences between whiskey and rum, for me this was a really, really interesting aspect, and it brought some really nice subjects to light. Now, I always thought that it's the aging where all of the flavour comes from in the rum, but really they were very critical and said, no, it's in the fermentation. You know, look at the culture, look at the land, look at the processes. That's the key to unlocking the flavour. And if you really want to explore the flavour of rum, start to explore the white rums. So that just gives you an insight into some of the conversations we've had. So on reflection, it was £44.95, £44.95, and that isn't cheap. It is expensive, but for £44.95, What we did get was a really nice presentation box. It actually felt quite special when it arrived, and I'll be more than happy to buy that as a gift for someone's birthday or Christmas present. We had 5 rums and I didn't even drink them all. You know, we didn't need to, but it was really nice to be able to have them lined up in 5 separate glasses, have people talking about their experiences, flavours, and for you to relate to that at your own home. I did get some glasses as well, which I'm really pleased I did. You know, you do get one with the set. I did buy some extras, but that is something nice, and I will use those plenty of times again with friends, on tasting sessions, etc. So would I buy another one? I think I would. And I think, you know, why would I buy it? I would buy it for an occasion or a present, or if there's something I'm really, really interested in. Because for me, you know, talking around Hamptons, talking about Jamaican rums, talking about the marks, you really get a wealth of experience and knowledge on these sessions, and that was worth its weight in gold. So all in all, more than happy to have gone through this experience. Hopefully you've enjoyed me sharing it with you and giving you a bit more insight into what virtual tasting experiences are all about, and you'll look to experiment with your own ones. If you've liked this video, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, your feedback's really relevant. Hopefully see you on the next video. Cheers, bye.